and I believe 18 dwarf cars for the NorCal Dwarf Car Association joining us this evening. We welcome everyone watching on FloRacing. And again, those here in attendance, you got friends or family can't be here, but they want to watch, just have them go to FloRacing.com. And they can watch tonight's races, tonight's season finale for the NARC King of the West 410 Sprint Car Series this evening. Don't forget also there, go to the Bullet Impressions trailer for all your NARC souvenirs, and also make a donation to the NARC Benevolent Fund, which raises money to help racers and their families when they are in need. A lot of drivers have been helped out over the years. Angelique Bell, Justin Cox, Chase Johnson, among others recently. But great cause here. And also, we got a little bit of a challenge tonight. Ashley Smith from the Zero Heroes, the Tim Kading team, got a little challenge for all of us tonight. If we are done racing by 9:30 tonight, if we are done by 9:30, the Zero team will donate $1,000 to the NARC Benevolent Fund here. So that's a challenge for us to have a good, clean show tonight here. So we have 4 hours to do that here. But yeah, so we got a challenge here. Race teams, let's have a good, clean show and get some money raised for the NARC Benevolent Fund. And some money is going to be raised for that as well at our banquet tomorrow at the Brookside Country Club. So we got BCRA and WMR midgets pushing off for their wheel packing and transponder check. And we'll be back on here in a little bit.
Again, tonight a non-point special event for the NorCal Dwarf Car Association. It was one of the fun classes throughout Northern California. 3 individual heat races tonight for the NorCal Dwarfs. 19 car out there, Patrick Weegar. 05 in, Tim Dodson. 29 is Corey Eaton. 72 in, Isaac Guile. Green flag quickly out. And yellow checkered waving. Car stopped over there in turn number 4. 49, Alan Kordick. L29 in, Corey Eaton, fastest overall. Track extremely greasy, starting out at 20.238 over Tim Dodson, Patrick Weegar, Isaac Guile, and Austin Struthers, the top 5. Struthers, a veteran of dwarf car and mini truck racing up at Placerville Speedway. Sean Becker, 7B, also firing off. Got the hood off of the Bjork Construction Sprinter. Again, Sean 12 points back at DJ Netto going into tonight's NARC Championship finale. As we get set for the second hot lap session for the NorCal Dwarf Car Association coming up. And there goes Tony Nassetti, your promoter in the white pickup truck over there in turn 3. Tony taking a look at the track. There's Tony Nassetti on FloRacing, promoter extraordinaire, and Alan Padgett as well. Alan Handy, track prep specialist. There. Again, those are the 2 guys that make things happen here with the track prep. Alan, of course, a longtime promoter at Placerville Speedway, Silver Dollar Speedway as well. '96B, Pete Piantanita. 22 in, Narayan Shores. Mike Reeder, 32 in. 99 in, Gage Myers, and Mike Spanky Grennert in the 12 in. 508, Steve Costello also out there. Well, checker flag waving. Steve Costello, 508. Fastest car, 19.365. Again, this track starting off extremely greasy at the moment. 11 car, Tyler Cato, going to try and fire off again. There's some of the orange horns. Thank you to Pacific Highway Rentals and Andy Forsberg. Love having those horns out here. And the 11 car, Tyler Cato, still not coming to life. One final Dwarf Car Hot Lap session coming up next before we get into NARC 410 Hot Laps and qualifying. .41 in Brandon Aylesworth. 40 in Eric Fremung. 15 in, that's Littlewhite Sean Whitney, always one of the top dwarf car drivers in California. 98 in, Trinity Shores. And green is going to wave. .41, Brandon Aylesworth losing handle over there in 3 and 4. Back on the loud pedal. Green flag going to wave again. And checker flag waving on the NorCal Dwarf Car Association Hot Lap. Sean Whitney, Littlewhite, fastest overall, 17.761. Over Steve Costello, Mike Reeder in the 32 in tonight. Brandon Aylesworth and Mike Spanky Grenard. Dwarf Cars will be back out for 3 individual heat races coming up shortly. Up first, though, NARC 410 Hot Laps and qualifying. I'll pass it back over to my friend, Mr. Andrew Kunis.
Thank you, GT. Hot Laps presented by My Race Pass. Coming up for the NARC King of the West 410 Sprint Cars, My Race Pass, the official scoring software of the NARC Sprint Cars. Download the My Race Pass on your smartphone. And for just a small fee, you can keep track of how your favorite driver is doing, see live timing, and also see the lineups and results throughout the evening. You keep track of your favorite driver. First car out on the racetrack, the driver who's also an announcer part-time, Cohen Shaw, in the Shaw Racing number 88 with a 360 motor under the hood. He ran with us down in Santa Maria back in July. He announced with me the week before in Watsonville, so very talented young man there, one of the real nice guys out there. Entering turn 3 in the S&S Motorsports number 3S. Races down here a lot, but he's from Bozeman, Montana, making his 410 debut tonight. That is Cole Schroeder. Cole Schroeder in the 3S. Entering turn 3, the driver who won this last year, walking off to win the NARC Championship. 7 wins this year for the Mitry Motorsports 2X, Justin Sanders. In the 2X this evening, looking to win this race for the 4th time in 410 competition. Behind him in the 12J. In the Steve and Tammy Clark entry from Windsor, California, that's John Clark. And making his NARC debut tonight in the white 45D from Grass Valley, California. Happy birthday, by the way, to Derek Dravold. Derek Dravold in the 45D. And in turn 2, we have the Morgan Motorsports 45 of Jake Morgan, who won the Hunt Magneto feature and championship last night. Going by the flag stand now. And we also got the 92 car of Andy Forsberg from Auburn, California. As our first hot lap session is underway, the track's still a bit on the greasy side. And there is Jake Morgan in the 45 as Cohen Shaw leaves the racetrack. There's Mr. Excitement, Andy Forsberg in the 92 car. Winner of Lord knows how many track championships. I think he's in the 20s now. The driver from Auburn, California in the PHR Racing number 92 car. White flag is out. These drivers completing their final lap of this hot lap session. John Clark in the 12J. Track is slowly picking up speed. Still a little slick, but it is getting quicker here. With each lap these cars are taking on this quarter mile. And Jake Morgan, first time with NARC this year in the 45 car. Again, won last night's Hunt Magneto wingless sprint car feature and the championship as well. And checker flag is out on this group. Justin Sanders, fastest so far, 14.103. 14.103. And there he is, the driver who has won this event 3 times in 410 competition. Got some wins in the 360 ranks as well when they added a 360 race to the tribute to Gary Patterson several years back. But in 410 competition, including last year, he's won this 3 times. His teammate, Max Mitry, in the Mitry Motorsports 2XM from Redding, California. He raced the 360 last night here with the Sprint Car Challenge Tour. Hunter Brady swinging for the fences here on setup tonight, so Max like to say. In turn 1, in the Tarleton Motorsports entry, the driver from Jacksonville, Oregon, that is Tanner Holmes, who won a month ago down in Tulare. He also won back in May at the first of the Twin 20s at the Maury Williams Memorial. In the middle of turns 1 and 2, in the Williams Motorsports 0 from San Jose, California. 1 win this year for TK, Tim Kading. Tim Kading in the 0 car. Won the Dave Lim Memorial at Petaluma Speedway back in July. Entering the back straightaway in the Carrick Racing 83T from Lincoln, California. Few podium finishes this year, but still looking for that first NARC win. That is Tanner Carrick. In the middle of turns 1 and 2, your winner of the Johnny Key Classic this year in the BK Motorsports number 29 from Campbell, California. 3rd in the points going into tonight. That is Bud Kading. Over in turn 2, in the Aton Racing 26 from Benicia, California, that is Billy Aton. Billy Aton in the 26. And in the Roth Motorsports 83 car from Bixby, Oklahoma, first time here, that is Cannon McIntosh. Cannon McIntosh, the USAC National Midget Points leader. He's going to be doing a lot of midget racing here over the next few weeks when the USAC makes their way to California for their closing stretch of races, which will be all on FloRacing as well as we go green with this hot lap session. Track pick up a little bit of speed. We're now into the 13s here. Tim Kading breaking in. The 13.949. Bud Kading, his brother, 14.005. White flag is out, giving these drivers another lap here. Trying to work this racetrack in as good as possible here. Now even lower, 13.6 is going up now at the checkered flag. And Tanner Carrick now fastest overall in the 83T, 13.659. 13659. Max Mitri in the 2XM turning in a 13.662. Tim Kading 13.949. Buck Kading 14.005. Track record. This track's current configuration was set by DJ Neto back at our season opener, 11.121. For those of you keeping score. Next car is out on the racetrack. In the Fortitude Driver Development, number 10, out of Clovis, California, this year's Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial winner. That is Dominic Gordon. Dominic Gordon, winner of 2 NARC main events in his career. The driver who got his first career win in the second of the Twin 20s back in May down in Tulare, Caden Steele in the BCCR, number 121 from Easton, California, outside of Fresno. And then the 14 car over there in turn 2, wrapping up Rookie of the Year honors this season with the NARC King of the West, the young lady from Fresno, California, Mariah Eade, in the Eade Motorsports number 14 car. Sugar Shane Golubic in the Matt Wood Racing 17W, several-time NARC winner out of Fremont, California. And behind him in the Selzy Motorsports, number 41 from Fresno, California, the 2-time NARC champion, Dominic Selzy. Dominic Selzy in the 41. Sean Becker, second in the points, chasing DJ Neto. He's in the 7B, the Shark, and the Don Bjork entry from Oroville, California. And entering turn 1, your points leader looking to wrap up his second NARC championship in the Neto Ag 88N. That is DJ Neto. DJ Neto in the 88N, your points leader, as our final group of hot laps goes green. Presented by Maya Race Pass. And Caden Steele to the top of the board. We are into the 12s now. Caden Steele in the 121, 12.875. Sean Becker in the 7B, 12.878. And low 13s turned in by Dominic Gordon, Dominic Selzy, and DJ Neto. Mariah Eade into the low 13s as well. All right, so with the track being pretty greasy earlier on here, the decision has been made. Everyone's going to get a second hot lap session, but there'll be a quick session here, a lap or two for each group, and then we will go into qualifying presented by automotive racing products. Cole Schroeder back out there in the 3 car. Young man races down here an awful lot, but hails from Bozeman, Montana. Jake Morgan onto the racetrack in the 45. Last night's Hunt Magneto feature winner and series champion this year. Justin Sanders back on the racetrack in the 2X. Not chasing points this year. Did a little racing out east when he got an opportunity, but still leads everyone with 7 NARC victories this year. And hoping to get a 4th Patterson victory in 410 competition. He's got some 360 wins as well, but only Brent Kading and Steve Kent have won the 410 portion of this race more than Justin Sanders He has 3 wins, Kading and Kent with 4 each. That'd be some pretty good company for Justin Sanders to be in should he get the job done here tonight in this event that started way back in 1984, honoring the preacher, Gary Patterson. Derek Dravold out there in the 45D, the white 45D, entering turn 1. 360 motor under the hood, making his NARC debut on his birthday. And finally getting the car fired off. Tyler Cato in the number 11 car. The Styles Motorsports entry. They could not get that car fired earlier. So that car is finally running. No hood on that car. He may go right back to the pit area here, and that is what they are doing. John Clark is out there in the 12J as well. Cohen Shaw back out there in the 88. And Andy Forsberg out there in the 92 car as well. So everyone's going to get a second hot lap session here. Should be quick before we go to qualify. We are green. And caution on the speedway here is Andy Forsberg having a problem over in turn 4. Got out of shape and slid to a stop right where they enter the racetrack there at the top of turn 4. And track picking up more speed. Justin Sanders in the 2X. Now running a 12.285. Forsberg ran a 12.412. And Jake Morgan in the purple and white 45 with the 360 motor running a 12.609. So this track is picking up some speed. Cole Schroeder in the black 3, 12.644. Again, Cole Schroeder, he ran with us back in the spring at Placerville, but he had the 360 motor under the hood. I believe this is his first night out with the 410. And now we're going to go green again here. Should be pretty quick here. And Sanders almost into the 11s, 12.030. Checkered flag is out on this group. So we're almost into the 11s now, 12.030. Set by Sanders. Andy Forsberg, 12.259. Cole Schroeder now running on a 12.478. So this track here, probably going to be into the 11s here shortly if this track continues to gain speed. Next group out onto the racetrack. Tanner Holmes back out there in the Tarleton Motorsports 21. Twice a winner this year. He also won the Marvin Smith Memorial at Cottage Grove Speedway in Oregon, 360 event. He won that for the second year in a row back on Memorial Weekend. Max Mitry out there in the 2XM. Billy Ayton in the 26 car. No number on the top wing, but that big orange top wing, that's Billy Ayton. Kenan McIntosh in the Roth Motorsports 83, the USAC National Midget Point Leader, running here for the first time at the Stockton Dirt Track. TK, Tim Kading, he was the hard charger here back in March at the season opener. And he has one win this year in the Williams Motorsports number 0. And his brother, Bud Kading, won this year's Johnny Key Classic. Back onto the Speedway in the 29 car, third in the points. Bud hoping for a much better outing than his last race went in NARC competition. He was on his lid twice at Antioch. One of those nights you'd rather forget, but he did say it. One of those nights that makes you appreciate your good ones. And Tyler Cato rolling onto the racetrack again, the 11 car. He has not been at speed yet. He's been trying to get that car fired off. Now they got fired off here, and the hood's back on the car, and he's going to try and hot lap in the Styles Motorsports number 11 car. Ed Entz turns on the green light, waves the green flag, and we'll turn them loose. And another hot lap session presented by My Race Pass underway. And caution out on the speedway. Kenan McIntosh rolled to a stop. And now facing towards the pit area, so problems on the Roth Motorsports entry. The driver here from Bixby, Oklahoma, has Toyota Racing Development backing him. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier, he's got a lot of racing coming up here in the next few weeks in California. The USAC National Midget Series. All those races will be on FloRacing. Speaking of Flo, Drake York was with us last night. Does a lot of trackside reporting for the USAC National Tours. Not able to join us tonight, but we enjoyed having him hanging out with GT, myself, and Troy Hennig. I played a little spectator last night, watching last night's 360 Sprint Car Challenge Tour and Hunt Magneto event here in Stockton. And we go green one more time. Well, only one driver got in there, but from the same team that Sanders came from. Max Mitry running an 11.889 aboard the 2XM. 11.889 by Max Mitry. Tanner Carrick very close. 12.019 seconds aboard the 83 T machine. And it should be our final hot lap session. The two-time NARC champion, Dominic Selzy, rolling onto the speedway in the 41 car from Fresno, California. This year's Dave Bradway winner, Dominic Gordon, in the 4-2 driver development number 10 car. And wrapping up Rookie of the Year honors this season in the Eid Motorsports 14 from Fresno, California. That's Mariah Eid. And rolling by the flag stand, looking for his second NARC championship. He won here back in March in the Netoac 88N, the former series champion DJ Neto. DJ Neto. And again, if we did all the math right here, no matter what Sean Becker does, if DJ Neto finishes 10th or better in tonight's feature, he will clinch his second NARC championship. Shane Golobic in the Madwood Racing 17W from Fremont, California. He's a several-time NARC feature winner. And behind him, Caden Steele in the BCCR number 121 from Easton, California. Got his first win back in May down at Tulare. And the 7B, it's the Shark, Sean Becker, second in the points. 12 tallies, I beg your pardon, behind a Neto going into tonight's show. As we go green for this final hot lap session presented by My Race Pass. Well, how about this? Fastest overall in the 7B, Sean Becker. 11.610. Again, there is a bonus point on the line in qualifying. Sean Becker would love to set fast time tonight. Make things a little bit more difficult for DJ Neto. Neto was fourth overall. 11.667. Track record 11.121 set by DJ Neto here back in March. So Neto knows this track very well. Up next, Automotive Racing Products qualifying. Check out ARP-bolts.com and check out what you could use to enhance the performance of your own personal vehicle. ARP paying $100 as a bonus for tonight's quick qualifier. But first, got midgets on the racetrack here. I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to the voice of the Stockton Dirt Track, GT Gary Thomas.
Thank you very much, Andrew Kunis. Once again, up next is BCRA WMR Super Series hot laps before we get into our NARC 410 qualifying. The track, of course, starting off fairly greasy, so trying to work this thing in before we get set for qualifying time trials. Total of 15 entries for the WMR BCRA midgets here tonight. Championship finale for 2025 in this division. Cars on track, 19S Luke Hayes, our Wing 360 regular. 35 Ryan Carter, 32 Caden Cirelli, the point leader. 1 MP Andy Gleason, 45 Jake Morgan, and the 9 Anthony Bruno. Well, checker flag waving on the opening hot lap session for the Midget Super Series. 32 car Caden Ciralli, once again your point leader, looking to wrap up the championship tonight. Fastest overall, 13.735. Luke Hayes, Jake Morgan, Anthony Bruno, Ryan Carter, your top 5. Big thank you to all the sponsors for the Midget Super Series, BR Motorsports and Hothead Engine Heaters, paying $100 to the fastest qualifier at each and every event. West Evan Motorsports, $50 heat race sponsor, American Racer Tire West, and Motor City Buick GMC, offering a right rear tire, a $227 value to the hard charger at each Super Series event. Teltac Stanton Racing Engines, Storks Garage LLC, and Rosa Motorsports among the sponsors for the Super Series. Cars out there now, 32C Cody Gray, the 2ND Lance Jackson, and your WMR champion Logan Mitchell, also out there from Santa Cruz, California. Going to honor Logan later on tonight after the main events. And there he is right there on FloRacing. Good dude right there, Logan Mitchell, a big-time race fan. So happy to see the success he's had. 25 Junior, one of his teammates, Nathan Moore, on track, as is 20J of Dale Johnston. Green flag waves in the second hot lap session. Well, your perennial champion, Caden Ciralli, fastest in that hot lap session, 13.735. Of course, Caden, multi-time champion at the Delta Speedway, the Micros, located on this very same property over there off of Martin Luther King Way. Luke Hayes, Logan Mitchell, Jake Morgan, Anthony Bruno, the top 5. One more hot lap session to come for the midgets. After this hot lap session, we'll then get into our NARC 410 qualifying. After NARC qualifying, it'll be BCRA qualifying, and then opening ceremonies. Number 50, Dane Culver, one of the favorites with the BCRA WMR midgets in this hot lap session, as is the Panda, 1P Terry Nichols. 18, the ageless wonder, Floyd Alvis, out there, 90 years of age, multi-time BCRA champion. And how about John Ciralli, also back at a midget, the 32T, another veteran. There's Floyd Alvis right there on your screen. And that will do it for BCRA WMR Super Series Hot Laps. 32, Caden Ciralli, fastest overall, 13.735 over Dane Culver. John Ciralli, third quick in Hot Laps, the 32T. Of course, John, the father of Caden Ciralli, the veteran driver in the midget ranks. Luke Hayes and Logan Mitchell, top 5 in midget Hot Laps. Next up, we'll move into NARC 410 qualifying time trials.
Thank you, Gary. And it looks like Cannon McIntosh is just getting a quick hot lap here, make sure everything is okay with the Rock Motorsports 83 car. Came to a stop during his hot lap session. So $100 bonus on the line, courtesy of Automotive Racing Products for tonight's quick qualifier, and one bonus point as well. DJ Neto and Sean Becker each would love to be the driver getting that bonus point, being in contention for the NARC Championship tonight. First car out in the Shaw Racing 88 from Fresno, California. Oh, hold on there. Gets it back going with a 360 Pinella motor, KPC chassis. Here is Cohen Shaw. Taking the green flag, sponsored by Shaw Structures Unlimited, Fast 4 Media, and Momentum Suspension. Part-time racer, part-time announcer. Cohen Shaw, his first lap, 12.642, 1.2642. And second lap will be better, 12.425, 1.2425. Last night's Hunt Magneto Wingless feature winner and champion this year. And the Morgan Motorsports 45 from Elk Grove, California. 360 Shark Power Triple X. Here is Jake Morgan. First time racing with NARC this season. Sponsored by Microtronics, Grandma and Grandpa Motorsports, and ANRAC Corporation. Lap 1, 11.766, 11766. Came with a 360 motor under the hood. Now 11.649, 11649. Good laps for Jake Morgan. Out now in the PHR Racing 92 from Auburn, California. Donut Power to Max, sponsored by Pacific Highway Rentals, Oroville Tax, Wilkie Masonry, and Pit Stop USA. Here's Mr. Excitement, Andy Forsberg. MCK Paving, a sponsor on that car as well, way up high in turns 1 and 2. First lap for Forsberg, 12.214, 1.2214. Again, way high in turns 1 and 2. There it gets really crossed up in turn 3. Not the qualifying times he wanted there. Second lap, 13.003. We'll go with the 12.214. And the SNS Motorsports number 3, all the way here from Bozeman, Montana. Shark Power to Max, sponsored by Don Valenzuela's Auto Body, Sure Built Suspensions, and MechTech Titanium. Here is Cole Schroeder making his 410 debut. ART Speed Equipment and Rocking Our Bar, sponsors on that car as well. First lap for Schroeder. Second quick, early on, 11.752, 11752. And second lap for Schroeder. A little slower, 11.821, 11821. Up next, last year's Patterson Tribute winner and reigning NARC champion from Aromas, California, the Mitchell Motorsports 2X, a Rider Power KPC, sponsored by MitchellConstruction.com and Yuba Sutter Aviation. Here is Justin Sanders on the clock. Also sponsored by North County Plastering, High Performance Lubricants, FK Rod Ends, and TJ Forged. 7 wins this season on the NARC Trail. Lap 1, quick time, 11.390, 11390. This track much quicker than it was at the start of hot lap. Second lap, 11.272, 11272 for Justin Sanders. The track record, by the way, 11.121. We'll see what happens here tonight in the Slipner Motorsports number 45D from Grass Valley, California. Happy birthday. Fabled Flooring. Out here just having fun on his birthday. Going to do the best he can. His first lap, 12.187. 1.2.187, not bad. Again, he's got a 360 motor as well. And his second lap, quicker, 12.158. 1.2.158. That's good for fourth early on. And the Steve and Tammy Clark, number 12J from Windsor, California. Kistler-powered Helix chassis, sponsored by CCI Electrical, Buster Southern Barbecue, Jerry's Valero Gas Station, and Van Leer Steering Repair. It's John Clark. Clark is on the clock. Edinger Enterprises, another sponsor on that car. And first lap for John Clark. Fourth overall, 12.123. Hold on there, John. Almost off the top of the racetrack here, and he's just going to go ahead and take it to the pit area here. That second lap, obviously not going to be better. We'll take that first one. 12.123. 1.2.123. Again, 11.272 is the mark so far by the defending series champion, Justin Sanders. In the Styles Motorsports number 11 from Santa Rosa, California, in a Racino-powered Maxim chassis, this is Tyler Cato. No sponsors on that car. They are open for business, they say. Cato on the clock. And his first lap, 12.425. 1.2.425. And his second lap, 1.1.778. And now in the Mitry Motorsports 2XM, here is Max Mitry, Shark Power KPC, sponsored by MitryConstruction.com, Shasta Realty Group, Chuck Wolf Sand and Gravel, and Steve Mann Construction. Max Mitry, first lap, second quick, 11.501. Tyler Cato's first lap was actually his best, 11.778. And now Mitry, second on the board, 11.407. 1.1.407 for Max Mitry. Second behind his teammate Justin Sanders. And now in the Carrick Racing 83T from Lincoln, California. Rider powered a Maxim. Sponsored by California Waterfowl, Taylor Morrison, K1 Race Gear, Airy Helmets, CVC Concrete, and TC Guide Service. Here is Tanner Carrick on the clock. Number of podium finishes this season. Still looking for that first NARC victory. Tanner's first lap, second quick, 11.335. 1.1.335. Can you get to the top of the board? Lap 2 will be slower, 11.570. 1.1.570. Out next, twice a winner this season on the NARC Trail. The Tarleton Motorsports number 21 from Jacksonville, Oregon. Kistler powered a Maxim. Sponsored by Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, Durst Incorporated, Shane DeWalt Trucking. Here is Tanner Holmes. Orville Tax and Factory Cane Shocks. Sponsors on that car as well. That team has won 8 times this year. Twice with Holmes and 6 times with James McFadden. Lap 1 for Holmes. Third on the board, 11.340. 1.1.340. And his second lap, a little slower, 11.360. 1.1.360. Just a little bit slower. But still, take the 11.340 for third on the board. Now the Aton Racing 26 from Benicia, California. Kissel Power Triple X. Sponsored by Legacy Glass, Plant Reclamation, Red Line Oil. Here is Billy Aton. Transport Products Unlimited. Bill Aton Painting and MTFX Graphics. Sponsors on that car as well. Aton's first lap. 5th overall, 11.530. 1.1.530. Aton's had his struggles this year. Would love to have a great night to finish off this season. Second lap, still fifth, but quicker. 11.478, 11.478 for Billy Aton. The Hard Charger here back in March. And the Williams Motorsports number 0 from San Jose, California. Maxwell Power to Maxim Chassis. Sponsored by Mad Cook Disposal and Swimming Pool Perfections. It's TK, Tim Kading. Advanced Auto Center, Caps Powder Coating, and Maxwell Racing Engine sponsors on that car as well. First lap for Tim Kading. Fast time, 11.212, 11.212. Can he do better? Second lap for TK. A little slower, 11.315, 11.315, but we'll take that first lap, 11.212. Tim Kading now fastest here in Stockton. Up next, his brother, the BK Motorsports 29 from Campbell, California. Here is Bud Kading. The Shaver Power to Max was sponsored by Alviso Rock, Heatwave Visual, DF Rios, Electric Construction Company, Williams Roofing, Hi-Fi Pizza, Bear Companies, and Kading Performance. Lap 1 for this year's Johnny Key winner is going to be 8th on the board, 11.750, 11.750. And second lap, a little slower, 11.840. We'll take the 11.750. Up next, first-time visitor here from Bixby, Oklahoma, on the Roth Motorsports 83, a Speedway TRD Power KPC chassis, sponsored by Mobile One, Toyota Racing Development, and Roth Enterprises, Cannon McIntosh. The USAC National Midget Points leader on the clock. And first lap for Cannon McIntosh. Fifth on the board, 11.396, 11.396. See what he does on lap number 2. And he will be second on the board, 11.228, 11.228 for Cannon McIntosh. His first competitive laps here at the Stockton Dirt Track. Your winner back in March and your points leader. And the Netto Ag 88 from Hanford, California, Rider Power KPC. Here is DJ Netto. Sander Engineering, Penny Newman Grain, Vanderpool, Smith Titanium, and Mechanics Choice sponsors on that car. 3 wins this year, including the season opener here. Looking for a second championship tonight. First lap for Netto, a little bit out of shape. 8th on the board, 11.550. 11.550 for DJ Netto. Looking for a much better second lap. And a little better, 11.452. 7th on the board, 11.452. 7th overall for DJ Netto. In the 4-2 driver development number 10 from Clovis, California, Rider Power to Max, sponsored by Gary Silver Ranches, Silva's All Natural Beef, J.I. Apparel, J.B. Critchley, Midvite Financial, and NPD Racing. Here is Dominic Gordon, also sponsored by Kading Performance, Bell Helmets, K1 Race Gear, and Walker Performance Filtration. This year's Bradway winner. Lap 1 for Dominic Gordon. It's going to be 13th overall, 11.787, 11.787. Looking for a much better second lap. And a little better, 10th overall, 11.682, 11.682. And the BC CR Racing number 121 from Easton, California, Kessel Power to Maxim. Sponsored by Tarleton & Son, Arctic General Contractor, St. Carlos Services, and Mandy & Associates. Former Rookie of the Year, Caden Steele. Former mini sprint champion both Lemoore and Delta. Caden Steele's first lap. 9th overall, 11.646, 11.646. Good for 9th. And lap 2 for Steele. A little quicker, 11.565, 11.565, 11.565, good for 9th. And now the driver's second in the points. The Don Bjork 7B from Oroville, California, Shaver Powered Maxim, sponsored by Bjork Construction Company, B&J Construction Rental Equipment, and Roxy Properties. It's the Shark, Sean Becker on the clock. Fire Protection Management and Channel Lumber, sponsors on that car as well. See if he can get that bonus point here, perhaps. His first lap, 12th overall, 11.730, looking for a much better second lap. And a 9th overall, 11.537, 11.537. 7th overall, or rather 9th, I beg your pardon, for Sean Becker. Wrapping up Rookie of the Year honors this year in the Eid Motorsports 14 from Fresno, California. Kessler Power to Max, sponsored by Pacific Boring, M&L Plumbing, Circle J5 Ranch, and Build America. Here's Mariah Eid. Mariah on the clock. And her first lap will be 15th overall, 11.755, 11.755. And her second lap be a little slower, 11.830. Will take the 11.755 for Mariah Eid. The two-time NARC champion and the Gary Selzy Motorsports 41 from Fresno, California. Kessler Power to Maxim. Sponsored by Selzy Enterprises, Red Rose Transportation, Whipple Superchargers, Redline Oil, and Sparco. Here is Dominic Selzy. Dominic running a partial schedule with us this year. The two-time series champion. Lap 1 for Selzy, 11.800, 11.800. That's good for 17th. And lap 2, much better, 11.573, 11.573, good for 11th for Dominic Selzy. We are expecting one more qualifier. And here he comes in the Matt Wood Racing 17W from Fremont, California. And Kessler Power KPC, sponsored by NOS Energy Drinks, Southern Pacific Farms, and MV Drywall. Here is Sugar Shane Golobic. Golobic should be our final qualifier this evening and for the season. Lap 1 for Golobic. 6th overall, 11.341, 11.341. See what he does here on lap number 2. Golobic, quick time, 1.182, 11.182, quick time. There at the very end. How about that to wrap up our final qualifying session of the season and winning a $100 bonus from Automotive Racing Products with a time of 11.182 seconds in the Matt Wood Racing 17W from Fremont, California. Your quick qualifier this evening. Let him hear you, Shane Golobic. How about that? To wrap up the last ARP qualifying session of the season. Last car out sets quick time on the second lap. How about that? Well, opening ceremonies coming up here. Oh, I beg your pardon. Qualifying here. I forgot about the midgets here. I'm going to go ahead and turn things back over to my colleague, GT Gary Thomas here. Yeah, we got more qualifying coming up here. We got the BCRA and WMR midgets are next, and here's GT.
Thank you very much, Andrew Kunis, as we take a look at some of the pit area over there on FloRacing right now. Thanks to our videographer, Mike DeHogue, as we get set for WMR and BCRA midget qualifying. So again, very close to an all-time 410 track record, 11.121, the mark set by DJ Neto last September 2024. Should have two cars at a time on the track for BCRA WMR Super Series qualifying. 2 Indy, Lance Jackson. And the 32, your champion coming up, Caden Sorali. Again, thank you to BR Motorsports and Hothead Engine Heaters, paying $100 to the Fast Time Qualifier at every Super Series event. Caden Sorali, 32-13-182. Lance Jackson's fastest lap, 14-7-3-3. .35 Ryan Carter came out just for the heck of it. Again, 2-car qualifying for BCRA WMR. Tonight, the championship finale for this series. Shane Golovic picked up the opening night win at Placerville Speedway April 5th, the NorCal Challenge. Golovic also won on May the 10th at Antioch Speedway. 25 junior Nathan Moore on track now. And 32C is Cody Gray. Next 2 qualifiers. Checker flag on that group. 32C Cody Gray second quick, 14.565. And the 25 junior Nathan Moore, 14.671. Again, Caden Sorali, your point leader with BCRA, 13.182 fast time up to this point. Should be 35 Ryan Carter on track. And the 50 of Dane Culver. Culver currently second in the point standings. 3 top 5s, 5 top 10 finishes in these 6 events contested this year. Dane Culver goes second quick, 13.614 in his first voyage of velocity. Well, number 50, Dane Culver, second quick, 13.416. And 35, Ryan Carter, fifth quick, 14.733. Again, 13.182 is the mark to beat up to this point. 20J, Dale Johnston among our next group. And 45, Jake Morgan, double duty here tonight, as he was last night. Jake, of course, wrapping up his 3rd career Joe Hunt Magneto's Wingless Tour Championship last night. Jake Morgan jumps up to 3rd quick, the 45 car. Dale Johnston, P4 in the 20J. Jake Morgan goes 3rd quick with a 13.924. Dale Johnston, 14.122. 8 cars have taken time of our 15 signed in. Anthony Bruno, number 9. Last night he was in a Joe Hunt Magneto's wingless sprint car. And your WMR champion, Logan Mitchell, 96X. Anthony Bruno having issues, however, in the number 9. That'll draw yellow. Bruno, a veteran of midget, non-wing, and now getting his feet wet in a wing sprint car racing. Drawing the caution on the back straightaway. Again, 96X Logan Mitchell, multi-time winner this year with Western Midget Racing. We'll honor him later on tonight in Victory Lane as the champion for WMR. Here's a look at the Biscacci Racing 9 of Anthony Bruno trying to fire off. And not quite coming to life for Bruno. Again, Caden Ciralli, 13.182 is your fast time qualifier up to this point. Dane Culver second quick, Jake Morgan third, Dale Johnston and Cody Gray your top 5. Once we are done with midget qualifying, we'll then get set for opening ceremonies. Here at the 42nd running of the tribute to Gary Patterson. Again, GP shirts on sale down off of turn number 4 at the Bullet Impressions trailer. Tanner Holmes also has his t-shirt trailer down there as well. And green flag waves for Logan Mitchell, 96X. Logan's opening lap is 4th quick with a 13.932. 13932, 4th quick, lap 1 for Logan. Little blurp of the throttle there in turn number 4, 2nd lap, 13.924. Check that, 13.859, 3rd quick for Logan Mitchell. Next 2 cars making their way trackside here momentarily. Any second now. There's Caden Steele down there on the FloRacing monitor. Driver of the 121 winged sprint car. 1P, they call him the Panda. That is Terry Nichols. And the veteran, John Ciralli, 32T, back in a midget here tonight. Well, John Ciralli, 3rd quick, 13.435. Good lap there for the 32T. John, a veteran of midget racing. Well, the wily veteran, John Ciralli, 3rd quick, 13.435, his fastest lap. Terry Nichols goes 7th quick, 14.348. One MP, Andy Gleason, on track now. And looks like Floyd Alvis, the ageless wonder, in the 18. Well, Floyd Alvis goes 14.930. Andy Gleason 16.945, fastest lap. Again, working our way through. Last car, in fact. Should be Luke Hayes in the 19. This is Mike Sala Racing special. So 19S Luke Hayes, wing sprint car regular in the midget here tonight. Well, Luke Hayes giving a little excitement there in turn 4. He'll go 10th quick, 14.688 on lap number 1. And second time by 7th quick for Luke Hayes, 14.136. So that will do it for BCRA WMR. Qualifying, put your hands together for Stockton's own Caden Cirali. Fast time tonight, a 13.182. Dane Culver, second quick. John Cirali, his father, third quick. Logan Mitchell, fourth, and Jake Morgan, fifth overall. Next up, momentarily, will be opening ceremonies here with the 42nd running of the tribute to Gary Patterson.
This is what you save your lunch money for. Welcome to the High Limit Room.
Hey, this is Kyle Larson, and you're watching the best pavement, dirt, and drag racing, all live on FloRacing. You have great racing on the track, you have great crowds.
400 race cars. 8 laps to go. Corner number 4 at the line. Brandon Overton.
Well, once again, our opening ceremony is coming up here in just a few seconds. Thank you to everyone for coming out and supporting the 42nd running of the tribute to Gary Patterson. Larry Elliott, somewhere down here, hopefully. There's Larry down there in Victory Circle. Brent Kading, if you can hear us in the pit area, come on out to opening ceremonies, Victory Circle. Brent Kading, once again, somewhere out there. Tonight, an extra special opening ceremonies. We have our color guard. Again, we'll also have Larry Elliott. Here comes the old man. Well, race fans, once again on behalf of everyone here with the SETI Group Incorporated, here at the NARC 410 Sprint Car Finale, a tribute to Gary Patterson, we have an extra special opening ceremonies. Some people may know that tonight is Jim Allen and Brent Kading's final night running the NARC Series. So Jim Allen and Brent Kading are kind of catching off guard here, but these two guys right here have put their blood, sweat, and tears into this series, the sport of sprint car racing, for years and years. Jim Allen went into the Calistoga Hall of Fame. I said, you make things easy, and I really appreciate that. Brent Kading, the man, you know, we may disagree on some things at times, but
Nothing. No, Brent Kading is the man. This guy has supported race teams forever and ever, and Jim Allen. Race fans, once again, big round of applause for Jim Allen, Brent Kading, the final night at the helm of the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series. We have some guys over here that are going to say some words as well. Dominic Sarazzi, I know you want to say some words.
Hey guys, thank you for coming out and supporting the final night. I want to say just something quick about both these two assholes. Brent has been the first person in my career that ever helped me, and if you go down this list, a lot of people are going to say the same thing. Brent Kading, not only the greatest Californian sprint car driver ever, the most helpful guy in the sport. So many people could have never lived their dreams without Brent Kading. And he has created a legacy, Kading Performance, and just who he is, and Howard and his boys are legends. And I looked up to his boys as a kid. My dad looked up to Brent. When I started racing 410s, when I started racing sprint cars, Brent was the man that made it happen. And then along comes Jim Allen. And I've raced for a couple years now, and we're going 410 racing, and this guy who used to be good 100 years ago comes in to a series that was all but dead. It was dead. And he brought it back from the ashes. And we've raced for more money. We've had bigger car counts. We've had better shows because of this man right here. And the reason that there's 410s in the state of California, the reason all you fans are here watching 410 cubic inch sprint cars, this guy right here.
I'll keep it short and sweet. You know, I've known Jim a long time. Apparently, I've known my dad a long time too. But you know, these guys have done a lot for this sport. Sitting here watching Jim cry is going to make me cry. You know, it's like giving away your child for the last time. You know, Jim's put a lot of heart into this, and let's get a round of applause, a big round of applause for Jim and Brett and my dad. Everybody, they worked their asses off for a lot of years. And thank you, fans, for coming out here. I'm going to hand it over to my brother. He's way more of a talker, so sit down and you can enjoy the rest of the night.
I don't know if I'm much of a talker tonight. I haven't done anything quick yet, so this might be a while. You guys probably don't know this. So I got Jim. Jim used to run the series in the 80s and 90s, and I don't know how many old school fans are here, but we had Spuds McKinsey and the Budweiser Girls and a lot of cool activations back then, and a lot of fun stuff. And Jim left and started a career in the HVAC business, and I don't know what else he did. Probably golfed a lot. Obviously, my dad was winning most of the races Jim was putting on at the time, and Mike was fixing all the rules for everybody, or at least for my dad, to get through it all. At least that's what a lot of the guys think. But so Jim stepped away for a while, and the series was kind of fading, and Prentice was stepping out, Dan Simpson was out, and Jim and I met at Disneyland at ESPN Zone one day for lunch. Hadn't seen him in 20 years, probably 15 years, and then my dad and I coaxed him back into this deal for a couple years, and you've been here for 8, 10 now. And so he's done tremendous things for the sport, brought Fujitsu in, which is a great sponsor and a great partnership for the series for quite a few years, and that faded away. Jim has been scraping, trying to get the series and keep it going, scheduling races, getting us Speed Week, which is built up, and now we're a part of the Dirt Cup, which is pretty awesome. My dad's a huge part of the scheduling, the behind the scenes, all the contingency sponsorship, bringing the parts trailer, him and BF all the time. Can't thank these two guys enough, and all you fans for the decades and decades of loyalty. And I got one last thing. I just want to thank the guys that get all the MF, and not just Jim, is the officials. There's going to be probably a lot of changing, a lot of guys stepping away and retiring. The officials take the blunt of everyone standing in this line. Shit, every time we screw up, it's their fault. And I just want to thank you guys all. Most of these guys have been here 20, 30 plus years. And thank you guys for putting up with us, and enjoy your retirement. Thank you, fans. Thank you again, fans. And now, back to Gary.
Thank you very much, Bud. Katie, want them to get the photos over here. Before we get into our Frisbee toss, we'd like to invite in everyone to please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, remove your hats. We have the color guard from the VFW, post 52 from Stockton, post 6311 out of Manteca. They'll be coming in momentarily. And now our opening invocation, courtesy of my friend, Mr. Larry Elliott.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much that you saved us from sin and religious piety and arrogance, Father, by your work on the cross. We thank you for everyone here in attendance tonight. We ask for a special protection for our military that keep us safe. We thank you for all of these drivers. Would you please keep them safe, their crews, our officials, and these great Stockton Dirt Trek fans. Father, we pray all these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for our national anthem. All right, race fans, here comes the Frisbees. Andrew Coos, ladies, talk about the Frisbee toss.
And this is the Red Rose Transportation Frisbee toss. I got to go run back upstairs here in a sec. But a lot of those Frisbees are being marked. About 200 Frisbees coming up, but some of them will be specially marked. Some of them are going to win T-shirts or a coloring book. We have a toy sprint car to give away, some hats, and also $50 courtesy of Red Rose Transportation. I'm going to run back up to the announce booth here. If you got one of those Frisbees, that's a winner. Head on up there to the announce booth. If it's just autograph, you didn't win anything here, but again, specially marked Frisbees. I'm going to go ahead and run back upstairs here.
Thank you, sir.
Again, check those coloring books here. But first, Jim Allen.
Okay, race fans, we're down here in Victory Lane with none other than a man who hasn't set fast time for a little while. Give it up for the fastest man in Stockton, California, Mr. Shane Golovic. Well, Shane, you nailed it. Just simple as that, man. You just came out. You were quick right out of the chute, got ARP fast time honors.
Yeah, that's huge. It's been a while, like you said, since we've been fast time with our NOS Energy Drink 17W, but it feels good to start our night off on the right foot. Makes the heat race a little bit easier here. Just get through that and put ourselves in the dash, which we don't make very often anymore for some reason. But we're happy to start off the night really well. My guys gave me a really good car, and we were able to rip one off.
Let's talk about your season as a whole. I mean, you've been in the running for 5 or 6 main event wins, and man, it's just, I don't know, racing luck. What was it this year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have like something like double digits on second place finishes. So that's something we need to turn into more W's. Hopefully we can do that tonight. But our car's been fast, and we've also had our struggles. But hopefully we can end the year with a strong note here.
There we go. We hope to interview you at the victory lane at the end of the night.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shane Golovic.
All right, again, check those Frisbees here. Some of them are specially marked. We already had the $50 from Red Rose Transportation claimed, along with the toy car here. We still have some coloring books and T-shirts to give away. So again, check those Frisbees. They're just autographed. You didn't win anything, but if they say that you won something, come up to the announce booth here. Again, coloring books, T-shirts, and some hats.
Yes, he did.
Oh, we got word there's a blue Honda HRV, beg your pardon, 8DRZ943. You are blocking in a truck. Once again, a HRV Honda 8DRZ943. NorCal Dwarf Car Heat Races will be first up on the docket here to kick off the 42nd running of the tribute to Gary Patterson. Heat race number one lineup looks like this. On the pole, 32 in is Mike Reeder. To the outside, 41 in, Brandon Aylesworth. Row 2 on the inside, 40 in, Eric Fromong. To the outside, 19 in, Patrick Weegar. Final row, Little Whit, Sean Whitney, 15 in on the inside, and the 49 in of Alan Kordick is your starting lineup. 6 cars, 8 laps. Heat race number one for the NorCal Dwarf Cars. NorCal Dwarf Car Association, tonight a special event. 8 laps of distance. Mike Reeder, Brandon Aylesworth to the first green flag at the tribute to Gary Patterson. Into 1 and 2, down low. Mike Reeder takes the early lead ahead of Brandon Aylesworth. Good 3-car battle there. With Weegar, Fromong, Sean Whitney as well. Whitney jumps up into P3. Lap 1 led by the 32 of Mike Reeder. Brandon Aylesworth and Sean Whitney, second and third. Oh, Whitney starting to set up your top two. Thompson's Auto, 15 in, one of the top dwarf car racers in all of California. He'll jump to second ahead of Aylesworth. Sean Whitney now going to try and track down your leader, Mike Reeder. Oh, Whitney pitches that thing sideways. Close quarter racing. There goes the 41 of Aylesworth through the infield. Up front, though, Whitney sizing up Mike Reeder. Down low off turn 4. Here comes Little Whit. Sean Whitney drives it in deep. He'll diamond the exit off of turn number 2. Good run down low, looking for the top spot into turn 3. Give it to Sean Whitney. Reeder tries the crossover move. That lap, though, led by Whitney, lap 5. New leader Whitney over Reeder and Patrick Weegar. Six laps down. Last time by Whitney turned the fastest lap of this heat race. This time by flagman Ed Ince is going to have the white flag in the air for Sean Whitney. That time Whitney even faster, down to a 15.428. Checkered flag in his sights off turn number 4. Sean Whitney gets the win in NorCal Dwarf Car Heat Race number 1. Mike Reeder comes home in the second spot. Patrick Weegar finishes third. Well, good drive there for Little Whit. Sean Whitney picks up the win in the 15 in. Mike Reeder came home second. Patrick Weegar third. Brandon Aylesworth fourth as we get set for heat race number 2. On the pole, in the 96B, it's going to be Pete Piantanita. To the outside, he is a scratch for the night. That's Mike Spanky Grenert. 53 in Austin Struthers. 72 in Isaac Guile will make up row 2. Final row, the 508 of Steve Costello and 98 in Roger Shores. Heat race number 2 for the dwarf cars. 8 laps of distance. On the outside, 72 in takes the lead. So lap 1 led by 72 in Isaac Guile over Pete Piantanita. Steve Costello all over Piantanita for the second spot. Into turn 3, give it to Costello. Into turn 1, Costello all over your leader, Isaac Guile. 2 laps down, 6 to go. This time by halfway home, here comes the 508 of Steve Costello. All over Isaac Guile. Into turn 1, here comes Costello down low. Nothing happening there, however, Guile hangs on. Down the front straightaway to lap number 5. Exciting 6-car heat races with the dwarf cars. Big run off turn 2 for Costello. Coming after your leader, Isaac Guile. In a turn 3, battle for the top spot. Bird's eye view on FloRacing. Here comes the 508. All over the 72, going by a lap car. Lap and a half to go. Here comes Costello. Another bid for the lead. Down low in 3 and 4. He's got it. Steve Costello, what a move in the 508. White flag is out. Final trip around the Stockton dirt track, heat race number 2. 508, Steve Costello off the final corner. He'll pick up the win in the second heat race. Isaac Guile second and Pete Piantanita in P3. L508, Steve Costello picks up the win in that one over Isaac Guile, Pete Piantanita, Austin Struthers, and Trinity Shores. Final heat race up next on the pole, 99, Gage Myers to the outside, 29 in Corey Eaton. Row 2 to the inside, 22 in Narayan Shores. On the outside, 616 Tyler Quilty. Final row, 05, Tim Dodson, and the 11 of Tom Pastusik. 6 cars, 8 laps, final NorCal Dwarf Car Heat Race of the program. ECRA WMR Midget Super Series heats. Again, Gage Myers, Corey Eaton, Narayan Shores, Tyler Quilty, Tim Dodson, and Tom Pastusik. Missing one car out there, it looks like. 616 Tyler Quilty not making the call. Again, final heat race for the NorCal Dwarf Car Association. Gage Myers, Corey Eaton, 2 top dogs on the front row. Green is out. Corey Eaton from the outside of the front row snags the early lead ahead of Gage Myers. Well, in turn 4, if you can hear us, please back away from the fence. Once again, please back away from the fence. Two laps down for Corey Eaton. Here comes Gage Myers, though, down low. 29 and the 99 in. Then Narayan Shores, Tom Pastusik, and Tim Dodson. Three laps down, 5 to go. 29 in, Corey Eaton setting the pace. Coming by a lap car. Once again, Myers taking a peek to the inside of Eaton. Nothing happening there, though. Good close race up front, this time by 5 down, 3 to go. Six laps down, 2 to go for Corey Eaton. 0.3 of a second lead over Gage Myers, who's right there. This time by flagman Ed Ince with the white flag. Final time around the Stockton. Oh, car sideways right ahead of your leaders. That's the 11 of Tom Pastusik. He'll continue on, though. Final set of corners coming up. Checkered flag is going to wave. Here comes Myers. Not going to get there, though. Corey Eaton picks up the win in heat race number 3 over Gage Myers and Tim Dodson. Well, checker flag waves in the final NorCal Dwarf Car Association heat race. Corey Eaton picks up the victory over Gage Myers, Tim Dodson, Narayan Shores, and Tom Pastusik. Next up, NARC 410 Sprint Car Heat Races. I'll pass it back over to my buddy, Mr. Andrew Kunis.
Thank you, Gary. Again, we welcome everyone watching on FloRacing. My friend Jimmy McCune, former ASCS Frontier Region champion, watching from Montana this evening. First of 3 heat races coming out of the racetrack for the NARC King of the West 410 Sprint Cars. First heat race brought to you by Brown & Miller Racing Solutions, a leader in the motorsports industry, manufacturing racing components and pushing for continuous improvement. Check out bmrs.net. Here is your lineup. On the pole, aboard the 2X, the Mitchell Motorsports entry from Aromas, California, rider-powered KPC, sponsored by MitchellConstruction.com and U-Bus Sutter Aviation. It's Justin Sanders, the defending NARC champion. Outside of him, his teammate in the Mitchell Motorsports 2XM, shark-powered KPC, sponsored by MitchellConstruction.com and Shasta Realty Group and Chuck Wolf Sand and Gravel. It's Max Mitri. Starting third in the Don Bjork 7B from Oroville, California, in the Schaefer-powered Max was sponsored by Bjork Construction Company. In D&J Construction Rental Equipment and Roxy Properties. It's the Shark, Sean Becker, second in the points going into tonight. And starting fourth, your quick qualifier this evening in the Matt Wood Racing 17W from Fremont, California. Kistler Powered KPC, sponsored by NOS Energy Drink, Southern Pacific Farms, and MB Drywall. It's Shane Golovic. Starting fifth in the Morgan Motorsports 45 from Elk Grove, California, the Shark Powered Triple X, sponsored by Microtronics and Grandma and Grandpa Motorsports. It's Jake Morgan. Big S410 debut in the SNS Motorsports number 3 from Bozeman, Montana, and then the Shark Powered Maxim. Sponsored by Don Valenzuela's Auto Body, Sherbilt Suspensions, and MechTech Titanium is Cole Schroeder. Getting the quick hot lap in. Morgan and Schroeder in row 3, row 4, starting 7th. And the Stephen Tammy Clark 12J from Windsor, California, the Kistler Powered Helix, sponsored by CCI Electrical and Buster Southern Barbecue, it's John Clark. And outside of him, in the Shaw Racing 88 from Fresno, California, the Pinella Power KPC, sponsored by Shaw Structures Unlimited and Fast 4 Media, it's Cohen Shaw. That's your lineup for heat race number 1, presented by Brown & Miller Racing Solutions. So a pair of teammates, practically identical cars on the front row, just to confuse announcers and scorekeepers, as my old friend Fred Renner Jr. liked to say. Justin Sanders, who won this event last year to win the NARC Championship. On the pole, Max Mitry outside of him. Sean Becker, Shane Golovic, row 2. Row 3 is Jake Morgan and Cole Schroeder. Row 4, John Clark and Cohen Shaw. Race fans, are you ready for the sprint car races? First of 3 heat races for NARC coming up. 8 laps the distance. Winner and fastest qualifier to finish top 6. We'll move on to the dash. Here we go. We are racing. Sanders to the lead. Over Mitry, Golovic, Becker, and Schroeder. Shane Golovic as the quick qualifier in this group. All he needs to do is finish top 6. On the lead lap, he's going to the dash, along with whoever wins this. Right now, the driver up front leading is Justin Sanders, ahead of his teammate Max Mitry. Cole Schroeder out of shape, losing a couple of spots further back in the field. We stay green. All Justin Sanders in this one. 5 down and 3 to go in this first heat race. And 2 more. Sanders ahead by 1.2 seconds over Mitry. White flag out already. Golovic just wanting to stay out of trouble, lock himself into the dash. Meanwhile, up front, off of turn 4, checkered flag. Sanders wins heat 1 over Max Mitry, Shane Golovic, Sean Becker, Jake Morgan, Clark, Schroeder, and Shaw. Your winner of Brown & Miller Racing Solutions, heat race number 1. In the Mitry Motorsports number 2X from Aromas, California. Driving the Ryder-powered KPC, sponsored by MitryConstruction.com, Yuba Sutter Aviation, North County Plastering. Let him hear ya, Justin Sanders. Heat race number 2 coming up. It's brought to you by Chemo's Tropical Car Wash. 3 locations in the greater Reedley, California area. If you're going through there after tonight's races, go give your car a wash. Thanks to Jim Taves, former NARC Hammerdown Rookie of the Year. And this is how they are lining up. On the pole in the Carrick Racing 83T from Lincoln, California, the Ryder-powered Max, sponsored by California Waterfowl, Taylor Morrison, and K1 Race Gear, is Tanner Carrick. Starting second, your points leader in the Netto Ag 88N From Hanford, California, the rider-powered KPC, sponsored by Sander Engineering, Penny Newman Grain, and Van de Paul, it's DJ Neto. Starting third in the BCCR, number 121 from Easton, California, the Kessler Powered Maximum, sponsored by Tarleton & Son, Ardent General Contractors, and SynCal Services, Caden Steele. Starting fourth in Williams Motorsports Zero from San Jose, California, the Maxwell Powered Maxim, sponsored by Matco Disposal, Swimming Pool Perfections, and Advanced Auto Center, it's TK Tim Kading. Starting fifth in the 4-2 driver development, number 10 from Clovis, California, in a rider powered Maxim, sponsored by Gary Silva Ranches, Silva's All Natural Beef, J.I. Apparel, and J.B. Critchley, Dominic Gordon. Starting sixth in the Ede Motorsports 14 from Fresno, in a Kistler powered Maxim, sponsored by Pacific Boring, M&L Plumbing, Circle J5 Ranch, this year's Rookie of the Year, Mariah Ede. And making his NARC debut tonight on his birthday in the Slipner Motorsports number 45D from Grass Valley, California, driving a KKR chassis, sponsored by Dravel Flooring, it's Derek Dravel. That's your lineup for Chemo's Tropical Car Wash Heat Race number 2. So we do a quick hot lap here, get everyone lined up. So Justin Sanders via his win, and Shane Golubic as the fast qualifier to finish top 6 in that heat race, have locked themselves into the Beacon Wealth Strategies dash. Winner of this one and the fastest qualifier to finish top 6 will go to the dash out of this one. Now, if Tim Kading were to win this heat race from 4th as the quick qualifier, he'd be the only car to go to the dash from this heat race. Neto would like to get into the dash and finish, or rather start ahead of Sean Becker. He's starting 2nd in this one. With neither driver getting that bonus point for quick time here. Now for Neto, I believe the magic number as far as finishing position to clinch the title in the feature tonight is 11th. But he'd rather win this heat race, get into the dash here, and start in the top 6 potentially, but he's got to deal with Tanner Carrick, who was to his inside. Chemo's Tropical Car Wash heat race number 2 goes green. And Neto doing exactly what he needs to do to the lead. He's going to lead lap number 1 over Carrick, Kading, Steele, and Ede. Neto going to try and get himself locked into the dash. Tim Kading just wants to finish top 6. There's Tim Kading running in 3rd in the 0 car. Neto nosing away from Tanner Carrick, the lead. Over 0.8 of a second, just a few laps in. Mariah Ede holding off Dominic Gordon for the 5th spot. And we're already halfway through 4 down and 4 to go in this second heat race. Carrick continues to run in 2nd, not gaining any ground really on DJ Neto. 2 to go. The lead almost a full second. White flag, one more time around for DJ Neto. Doing exactly what he needed to do early on this evening. Chemo's Tropical Car Wash heat race number 2 goes to DJ Neto. Carrick is 2nd over Kading, Steele, Ede, Gordon, and the birthday boy Dravel. Locking himself into the dash tonight. And the Neto Ag 88 in from Hanford, California, the Rider Power KPC, sponsored by Sander Engineering, Penny Newman Grain, Van de Poel Smith Titanium, and Mechanics Choice. Let him hear you, DJ Neto. And now Neto should be guaranteed top 6 starting position in the main event, starting ahead of Sean Becker, looking to wrap up his second NARC championship. Heat race number 3, brought to you by Wedge High Performance Karts. Redefine what it means to race, born from a passion for speed and skill. Wedge karts aren't just machines, they're the ultimate challenge to the status quo. Check out Wedge Karts, no E, wedgekarts.com. Here is your line for the final heat race of the season. On the pole, in the Tarleton Motorsports 21 from Jacksonville, Oregon, the Kistler Power to Max, sponsored by Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, and Durst Incorporated. 2 wins this year for Tanner Holmes. Starting second, the Aton Racing 26 from Benicia, California, the Kistler Power Triple X, sponsored by Legacy Glass, Plant Reclamation, and Redline Oil. It's Billy Aton. Starting third, in the Gary Selzy Motorsports 41 from Fresno, California, the Kistler Power to Max, sponsored by Selzy Enterprises, Red Rose Transportation, and Whipple Superchargers, the 2-time champion Dominic Selzy. Starting fourth in the Roth Motorsports 83 from Bixby, Oklahoma, in the Speedway TRD powered KPC, sponsored by Mobile One, Toyota Racing Development, and Roth Enterprises, it's Cannon McIntosh. Starting fifth in the BK Motorsports 29 from Campbell, California, in the Shaver Powered Max, sponsored by Alviso Rock, Heatwave Digital, and DF Rios, it's Bud Kading. Starting sixth in the Styles Motorsports 11 from Santa Rosa, California, in the Racino Power to Maxim, it's Tyler Cato. And starting seventh in the PHR Racing number 92 from Auburn, California, in the Donut Power to Maxim, sponsored by Pacific Highway Rentals, Oroville Tax, and Wilkie Masonry, Mr. Excitement, Andy Forsberg. That is your lineup for heat race number 3, presented by Wedge High Performance Karts. The owner, Wedge High Performance Karts, Josh Stagg, he's in attendance here tonight. Chatted with him a little bit earlier. He and I worked together up in Montana with the ASCS Frontier region for several years together. He's now living down here in California full-time again. A little quick hot lap session. We'll get everyone lined up behind our pace vehicle. Final heat race of the season for the NARC King of the West 410 Sprint Cars. Finishing things up where we started back on March 8th. As with the prior 2 heat races, the winner of the heat race and the fastest qualifier to finish in the top 6 will go to the Beacon Wealth Strategies Raymond James Trophy Dash. Now, if Cannon McIntosh, as the quick qualifier in this heat race, were to win this from 4th, he'd be the only car out of this heat race to go to the Dash. Tanner Holmes twice winner this year. Billy Aton, 1 career victory. A lot of bad luck this year, but trying to finish things on a high note. They will lead the way in this final heat race of the season. Wedge High Performance Karts heat race number 3 goes green. And Billy Aton with the great start. He's got a lead. Lap number 1 ahead of Tanner Holmes, Cannon McIntosh, Dominic Selzy, and Andy Forsberg. Holmes running second. McIntosh, the USAC points leader, in third. Aton running without numbers on the top wing. It's been that kind of year. He's been upside down a lot, having a lot of nights he'd rather forget. But right now, final night of the season, leading his heat race. There's McIntosh in the Roth 83. Dominic Selzy in the 41. They are running 3rd and 4th. Halfway through, 4 down and 4 to go. Battle for 3rd. Selzy, slider. McIntosh trying to turn it back down, going down the back straightaway. Can't make a stick. Move Dominic Selzy to third. Trying to improve his starting position for tonight's feature. Meanwhile, up front, Billy Ayton continues to lead over Tanner Holmes. Ayton looking to, trouble for Cannon McIntosh. Off the track a little bit there in turns 1 and 2. Loses a spot. Still running in 5th. White flag is out one more time around. Battle for the lead. Meanwhile, in the final lap, Holmes trying to make a move. Running out of time. Billy Ayton is going to hold on. He's going to win the third heat race. Holmes is second over Selzy, Forsberg, McIntosh, Kading, and Cato. Holding on to win which high performance karts heat race number 3 from Benicia, California, the Ayton Racing 26, the Kistler Powered Maximum, sponsored by Legacy Glass, Plant Reclamation, Redline Oil, Transport Products Unlimited, Bill Ayton Painting, and MTFX Graphics. Doesn't have a number on the top wing here, but that is the 26. Let him hear you, Billy Ayton. Nice to see that for him here after a rough year for one of the popular drivers from Benicia, California. He's going to the Beacon Wealth Strategies Raymond James Trophy Dash, as is Cannon McIntosh. And now we're going to have heat races for the BCRA and WMR midgets. I will step out of the way here and let GT Gary Thomas take back over. It's all yours, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew Kuhn. It's the first of 2 BCRA WMR midget heat